students, good morning. Today let's go with a new topic, that is our second part of our lesson, that is measurement. It's an important topic of this lesson because maximum number of questions in our NEET or JEE examination asked in this topic. So concentrate more in this topic. Almost 8%, almost 1 or 2 questions, 8% means 1 or 2 questions asked in this topic. So concentration more in this topic. Okay, let's begin our class. So listen and watch carefully. Students, now start our class. Here we can see the first one, that is measurement. It's an important topic. Okay, so what is measurement? Is the basis of all scientific studies and experimentation. Measurement is the basis of all scientific studies and experimentation. Okay, as well as it's play important role in our daily life as well as in our physics. Okay, measurement is the important role in our daily life as well as our physics. Okay, here we can see the definition of measurement. Okay, measurement is the basis of all scientific and studies and experimentation. Here we can see the screen, that is definition of measurement. See the definition: the comparison of any physical quantity. The comparison of any physical quantity. So measurement is the comparison studies. Comparison. ஒரு ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் வேல்யூஸை வச்சு கம்பேர் பண்ணுறோம். Comparison of any physical quantity with its standard unit. Unit already you know one. Our physics without unit we can write any quantity. Okay, so you know the unit. Okay, so with its standard unit it's known as measurement. Okay, it is the definition. The comparison of any physical quantity with its standard unit is known as measurement. Okay, that's all. Next we can see the physical quantity. What is mean by physical quantity and definition of physical quantity. Okay, first we can see the definition: quantities that can be measured. Quantity that can be measured in terms of laws of physics are described or called physical quantity. Quantity that can be measured. Physical quantity, அதாவது குவான்டிட்டியை மெஷர் பண்ணுறோம் இன் டேர்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் லாஸ் ஆஃப் ஃபிசிக்ஸ். அண்டர்லைன் தட் வேர்ட். லாஸ் ஆஃப் ஃபிசிக்ஸை வச்சு ஒரு குவான்டிட்டியை மெஷர் பண்ணால் அந்த குவான்டிட்டி தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்லலாம்? தட்ஸ் கால்ட் ஃபிசிக்கல் குவான்டிட்டி. ஃபிசிக்கல் quantity. Some examples are given in your textbook. See the screen also. Force, length, mass, time, area, volume, etc. நம்ம சொல்லிக்கிட்டே போகலாம். It's all are physical quantities. Okay, some known examples are given. That is force. Already you studied your 10th standard. What is the force from Newton's second law? Okay, it's a proper definition of force. That's all. Next we can see the types of physical quantity. Next we can see the types of physical quantity. Okay, so physical quantity means quantity that can be measured in terms of laws of physics. It's described or called physical quantity. That physical quantities are classified in two types. One is the fundamental quantity, another one is a derived quantity. Fundamental quantity and another one is a derived quantity. So what is mean by fundamental quantities? Fundamental or base quantity. Fundamental quantity also called base quantity. Fundamental or base quantities are quantities which cannot be expressed in terms of any other physical quantity. Underline the word your textbook. Fundamental quantities, quantities which cannot be expressed, in terms of any other physical quantity. It's one of the 2 mark question. Define fundamental quantity, gives some example. Okay, so fundamental quantity or base quantity are quantities which cannot be expressed in terms of any other physical quantity. Some examples are given. See your textbook or see the screen. Length, mass, time, electric current, temperature, intensity and amount of substance. These 7 quantity are called fundamental quantity. These 7 quantity are called fundamental quantity because it cannot be expressed any other physical quantity. Any other physical quantity which cannot be expressed. Okay, are you understand? Yes, fundamental quantity is one of the types of physical quantity. The definition of fundamental quantity is the quantity which cannot be expressed by any other physical quantity. That's all. Okay, you can see the next one, that is derived quantities. Derived quantities. So fundamental derived quantities, it's come from the fundamental quantity. Simply we say derived quantity, it's come from fundamental quantities. Okay, see the definition, see your textbook. Derived quantities are quantity that can be expressed, quantities that can be expressed in terms of fundamental quantities. Underline the word quantities that can be expressed in terms of fundamental quantities are called derived quantity. ஸோ ஃபண்டமெண்டல் குவான்டிட்டியை வச்சு டெரைவ் பண்ணக்கூடிய ஃபிசிக்கல் குவான்டிட்டிஸ்க்கு என்ன நேம்னா derived quantities. Okay, it's called derived quantity. The example of derived quantities are given. See the textbook. Area, volume, velocity, acceleration, force. It's not only this one is the derived quantities. Many derived quantities are there because we can derive from many quantities from fundamental quantities. Okay, so it's one of the examples. Some examples are given: area, volume, velocity, acceleration, force. Okay, it's some examples. Okay, so physical, what is physical quantity? What is physical quantity? Quantity that can be measured in terms of laws of physics. That's called physical quantities. That physical quantities are classified in two types. One is the fundamental, another one is a derived. Fundamental quantities, another name of fundamental quantity is base quantities. Okay, quantity which cannot be expressed in any other physical quantity, it's called fundamental. The quantity which can be expressed from fundamental quantity, it's called derived quantity. That's all. Okay, okay students, physical quantity topic is over. Here we can see the unit and its types. Okay, we can see the unit and its types. Already you are familiar on unit. Okay, you know the in exam point of view, you know the value of unit, because without unit we are cutting half marks. Okay, so you know the value of unit, but we don't know the definition of unit. For example, we know the unit of force, Newton. You know the unit of velocity. Okay, what is the unit of velocity? That is meter second inverse. Okay, so know the unit but not the definition. So in our higher secondary level we can learn what is the definition of unit. Okay, see the screen. First definition: an arbitrarily chosen standard of measurement of quantity. Standard of measurement of quantity which is accepted internationally, it's called unit of the quantity. ஓகே, ஒரு குவான்டிட்டியை ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் மெஷர்மெண்ட் வச்சு நம்ம மெஷர் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அந்த குவான்டிட்டிக்கு இன்டர்நேஷ்னலியாக அக்செப்ட் பண்ணியிருந்தாங்கன்னா அந்த யூனிட்டை தான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்கிறோம்? யூனிட் ஆஃப் குவான்டிட்டி அப்படின்னு சொல்லலாம். இப்போ நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கக்கூடிய லென்த்துக்கு மீட்டர், கிலோகிராம், செகண்ட்ஸ், இந்த யூனிட் எல்லாமே வேர்ல்டு லெவலில் அக்செப்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கக்கூடிய யூனிட். ஒரு ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் ரெஃபரன்ஸ் இருக்குது. ஓகே, we can discuss the later. Okay, so this is the definition of unit. Okay, once again I tell what is the definition of unit: an arbitrarily chosen standard measurement of quantity which is accepted internationally, it's called unit of the quantity. Okay, this is the definition of unit. That units are classified in two types. Units are classified in two types. One is the fundamental or base units, and another one is the derived units. Okay, fundamental units are base units, another one unit is derived unit. So what is fundamental unit? The unit which the fundamental quantity are measured, it's called the unit. The in which fundamental quantities are measured, it's called fundamental unit. So fundamental unit மட்டும் மெஷர் பண்ணக்கூடிய என்ன பேருங்க, என்ன நேம்ங்க? ஃபண்டமெண்டல் யூனிட்ஸ். ஓகே, at the same time the unit which can obtain suitable multiplication or division power of fundamental units, it's called derived units. Okay, or another one definition of derived quantity, the units are derived from derived quantity, it's called derived unit. The units are derived from derived quantity. Already you know one, what is mean by derived quantity. Okay, that's all. So now you can learn what is mean by unit. Okay, as well as the types of units are there. So in any places, just you see in the unit, it's a, you identify it's a fundamental unit or derived unit. Okay, for example 17.5 meter. What is that? It's a fundamental unit because meter, it's a unit of length. Okay, meter is the unit of length. Length is the one of the fundamental quantity. Length is the one of the fundamental quantity. So that type of unit is fundamental unit. For example, acceleration value a is equal to 15.5 meter second power minus 2. That meter second power minus 2 is the derived quantity, derived unit, because acceleration is the derived quantity. How to derive? Acceleration is derived from the fundamental quantity. You know the formula for acceleration. What is the acceleration? That is rate of change of velocity. It's called acceleration. Okay, now you can understand. Now you can understand. That's all. So physical quantity, it's over, as well as unit is over. Next we can see the different types of measurement systems. Next we can see the different types of measurement systems. Okay, in older days the measurement systems, it's followed by 3 types. Okay, first initially பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 3 typesல ஃபாலோ பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. That name is given. First one is the FPS system. FPS system is the British engineering systems. Underline the word. It's followed by in UK's. Okay, British engineering system, it's FPS system. F means foot, pound and second. Foot means length. Okay, pound means kilogram, mass, length, mass, and second means time. Okay, next on CGS system. What is that? CGS means Gaussian system. Just you know the word, you know the name of the FPS system means British engineering system. Okay, CGS means Gaussian systems, and last one is the MKS system. Okay, these systems are all called metric systems. Okay, except FPS systems, not metric system. Other two, that is CGS and MKS systems, is called metric system. Okay, so here see the CGS system. C means centimeter, that is length. Gram, that is, what is that? Mass, the unit of mass. And second, it's a unit of time. And last one is the MKS system. MKS system, meter, kilogram and second. Meter, kilogram and second. Okay, these 3 types of systems is followed in older days. But after 1960, we can follow on common units. Already you know one, our physics SI units, SI unit. Many times you know, you hearing SI units. Okay, so next we can see that what is SI unit. Okay, so that's all. This is the 3 types of measurement system, but it's not followed in this year. இப்போ நம்ம இதை ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறதில்ல. Okay, now we can follow only SI units. Okay, so next we can see that what is SI unit system. What is SI unit system and their advantage? Okay, first, what is SI unit system? The system of unit used in scientists and engineers around the world. It's called SI unit. That's called metric system. That's called metric system. The system of units used scientists and engineers around the world. Commonly, it's called metric system. But since 1960, in the year 1960, it has been known officially as international system. It is known international system. Okay, that's called SI. SI unit system, international unit. That is the abbreviation for this French name. It's system international unit. Okay, it many uses. Okay, many uses are here, but we can see only three advantages of SI unit system. Okay, we see the first one, use of only one unit for on physical quantity. That is one physical quantity, not on. That is one physical quantity. Use of only one unit on physical quantity. Only one unit for one physical quantity. ஒரே ஒரு யூனிட் தான் ஒரு physical quantity ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும். ஓகே, இன் கேஸ் ஆஃப் மெனி ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ், எந்த ப்ராப்ளம் நம்ம சால்வ் பண்ணாலுமே எஸ்ஐ யூனிட்டுக்கு தான் கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணிக்கணும். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், temperature, you know the different units, you know one, what is that? Kelvin, Celsius, Fahrenheit. Many three types of unit will be followed, but in solving your problem, just you converted into Kelvin, because Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature, that only accepted. Okay, so it's the same. For example, centimeter, in terms of centimeter is the CGS unit, that is Gaussian unit, but we can convert it into SI unit, that is meter convert பண்ணிட்டு தான் நம்ம என்ன செய்யணும், ப்ராப்ளம் சால்வ் பண்ணணும். Okay, that is the first point, use of only one unit for one physical quantity. Okay, next, in this system all the derived units can be obtained from the basic units. Already you know one definition of derived unit. Already I told derived unit oda definition idu vechna sonnom. All the derived units can be obtained or derived from the basic units. Basic means fundamental units. Okay, so it's called coherent system of units. And another one, multiples and submultiples can be expressed as power of 10. Okay, it's a multiples and submultiples can be expressed as power of 10. Already you know one, 10 power, for example kilogram, 10 power 3 gram. Okay, 1 kilometer, 1000 meter, that 1000 will be converted into 10 power 3. Okay, that is called multiples and submultiples can be expressed as power of 10. So this is the advantage of or rules of SI units. Okay, so in older days three types of units will be followed, but year 1960 one common unit will be introduced. That common unit will be called SI units. Okay, that SI unit is nothing but, what is that? Metric system. Okay, it's a French name, system international d units. Okay, that's all. Next, we can see some base quantity and its unit, that symbol of unit. You know the totally 7 base quantities are there. You know the 7 base quantity. Base quantity nothing but, what is that? Fundamental quantity. Okay, so base quantity nothing but fundamental quantity. It will be classified, it will be totally 7 fundamental quantities are there. You know the definition of fundamental quantity, the quantity which cannot be expressed in any other physical quantity. Okay, see the screen, this 7 fundamental quantity which cannot be expressed in any other quantity, வேற எந்த quantity வச்சு நம்ம express பண்ண முடியாது. Okay, see that one. So first we can see the first base quantity or first fundamental quantity is length. The SI unit of length is meter. SI unit of length is meter. it will be represented small m. Here it will be represented capital M, but we are using small m. Okay, meter. Next, what is that? Another one fundamental quantity, that is mass. Another one fundamental quantity is mass. That unit is kilogram. It will be expressed in terms of kg. Okay, so kilogram is the SI unit of mass. It will be represented letter kg. Next, we can see that another base quantity, that is time. It will be represented, the unit is second. It will be denoted the letter small s. Small s. Okay, next, what is that? We can see that electric current. You can see that electric current is also the one of the fundamental quantity. Okay, it will be the unit followed by ampere. The SI unit of electric current is ampere. It's one of the scientist name, so it will be represented capital A. Okay, here ampere written only small letter. Okay, small a m p e r e, because accepted format is ampere written as small letters. Okay, it's a mistake, capital A. But in terms of symbol, it will be represented capital letters follow. Okay, capital A. Next, temperature. Temperature is one of the base quantity. The SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. Different units, temperature, that is Celsius, Fahrenheit, but acceptable unit is Kelvin. It's one of the scientist name. Kelvin also one of the scientist name, so it will be write small k. Okay, start with small k, but its symbolic representation capital K. Okay, are you able to understand? Yes. Next, what is that? Amount of substance. Amount of substance, it's one of the chemistry topic. Okay, you know the definition of amount of substance. The unit is mole. Okay, the unit is mole. See the screen, it will be represented small mol. Okay, mole. And the last one, intensity. Intensity is it's one of the luminous intensity, that is brightness. Okay, the luminous intensity represented unit is candela. It will be represented, symbol is CD. Okay, these 7 fundamental quantities are called base quantity. Okay, fundamental quantity. See the unit also. Okay, and symbol. In your textbook, the definition also given. We can discuss the definition is later. Okay, we can discuss the definition is later. That's all. Next, we can see the derived quantities and their unit. It's a very important. Just the expression, very important. Okay, see the first derived quantities, that is plane angle. Plane angle. Okay, it's using in our circle அங்கே வரக்கூடிய ஒரு term the plane angle. It will be expressed by arc by radius. Expression of plane angle is arc by radius. Okay, the definition of plane angle will be discussed later. Okay, the unit of plane angle is radian. The unit of plane angle is radian. It will be represented RAD. Okay, the definition of radian, give your textbook. Okay, next one, solid angle. Next one is the solid angle. See the screen, solid angle. First one is the plane angle and the solid angle. Those two quantity, it's called supplementary quantity. Already you know the 7 fundamental quantity. These two quantities are called supplementary quantity, but in year 1955 it will be converted into derived quantity. Okay, see the screen. The solid angle, the expression is surface area by radius square. Surface area by radius square. It will be unit of solid angle is steradian. It will be represented SR. Okay, solid angle expression is surface area by radius square. It will be represented SR. Okay, another one, your will know the mathematical term, that is area. What is the expression for area? That is L into B, that is length into breadth. Automatically the unit of length is meter, the unit of breadth is meter, so unit is meter square. Okay, this is the derived unit. Next, volume. Okay, volume. Already you know one, how to express the volume, that is area into height. Area into height, it will be represented, the unit is meter cube. Next, velocity. It's important. This is the இனி வரக்கூடிய எல்லாமே ஃபிசிக்ஸில் வரக்கூடிய physical quantities, derived quantities. Okay, first we can see the velocity. What is the definition of velocity? That is displacement by time taken, or another definition is rate of change of displacement. Rate of change of displacement, it's called velocity. Okay, டைமை பொறுத்து ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்டுடைய displacement மாறுச்சு அப்படின்னா that's called velocity. Velocity is the what kind of quantity? It's a vector quantity because it has direction. In our second lesson, what is vector quantity, what is scalar quantity, we discussed. Okay, the unit of velocity is meter second power minus 1. Meter per second, it will be represented ms power minus 1. Okay, meter per second. Okay, so velocity is the expression for velocity is displacement by time. Okay, another one, what is the acceleration? That is expression of acceleration, velocity by time, rate of change of velocity. This is the rate of change of displacement, this is the rate of change of velocity. So what is mean by rate of change of any quantity change with respect to time? It's called rate of change of. Just you write your textbook, what is mean by rate of change of any quantity, it can be changing with respect to time. With respect to time, it's called rate of change of. Okay, it's one of the derivation எங்கே வரக்கூடியது differential calculus in mathematics. Okay, that's all. The unit of acceleration is meter second power minus 2. The unit is meter second power minus 2, meter per second square. Okay, acceleration, velocity, both two quantities you are familiar one. Okay, in your 10th standard Newton's law of motion law already you studied. Okay, the derivation part, F is equal to ma, rate of change of momentum, it's directly proportional to, what is that, applied force. F directly proportional to rate of change of momentum. That means time பொறுத்து momentum change ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு. That's all. Next one, angular velocity. So what is the difference between velocity and angular velocity? Velocity, it's a translational motion. Translation means straight line. That is velocity. In case of circular motion, the object rotate, that's called, that kind of velocity, it's called angular velocity. The angular velocity is represented letter omega. Just you write, it's a Greek alphabet. In case of British alphabet, we follow W. In terms of Greek alphabets, it represented omega. Okay, that's angular velocity. Simple. Already you know the expression for velocity, that is displacement by time taken. Just you added one time, that is angular displacement. Angular displacement by time taken, it's called angular velocity. You know the unit of plane angle, what is that? Radian. Okay, radian. So see your textbook. So radian second inverse is the unit of angular velocity. Next one, angular acceleration. It will be represented alpha. What is alpha? It's one of the Greek alphabet. It will be compared to British alphabet, that is A. Okay, in Greek alphabet, that is represent alpha. We say alpha. Okay, that is angular acceleration. The expression for angular acceleration is angular velocity by time taken. The unit of angular acceleration is radian second power minus 2. Okay, next one is the density. Already you know one density, that is the expression for density is mass by volume. Mass by volume. Density also represent the letter rho. Just you write it your textbook in near the physical quantities symbol. In case of volume, represented V. velocity also V, acceleration represented A, angular velocity represented omega, angular acceleration represented letter alpha, density represented letter rho. Just you write it your textbook. Okay, the expression for density is mass by volume. The unit of density is kilogram, is the SI unit of mass. That is the unit of volume, that is meter cube. Just you write it kilogram per meter cube. It will be write as kilogram meter power minus 3. Okay, next one, that is the linear momentum. Next one is that linear momentum. Okay, so linear momentum is mass into velocity, m into v. Already you know your 10th standard linear momentum, conservation of linear momentum. One question in your 10th standard. Okay, so linear momentum is the product of mass and velocity. Product of mass and velocity. The unit of linear momentum is, the unit of mass is kilogram, the unit of velocity is meter second power minus 1. So automatically multiply the two quantities, kilogram meter second power minus 1. Another one, moment of inertia. Moment of inertia, it's nothing but, what is that? Inertia, nothing but force. Okay, moment of inertia, that is expressed as mass into distance square, m into d square. Moment of inertia represent the letter capital I. Just you write it your textbook. Moment of inertia, it's represented the letter capital I. Okay, the unit of moment of inertia, kilogram meter second meter square, kilogram meter square. Okay, another one, your familiar one, that is force. The expression of force is Newton's second law is mass into acceleration. See the screen, mass into acceleration. The SI unit of force is Newton. It will be represented capital N. Capital N. The derived unit of force is kilogram meter second power minus 2. Okay, another one, pressure, force acting per area, it's called pressure. Force acting per area, it's called pressure. The SI unit of pressure is Pascal. The SI unit of pressure is Pascal. It's represented PA. PA. Okay, pressure. Next one, what is that? Energy. Next one, energy. Energy nothing but work done. So energy naal onnu dhaan, work naal onnu dhaan. The expression for energy, that is force into distance. Force into distance. See the screen. Last quantity. Okay. Energy is force into distance. The common unit of or SI unit of energy is joule. Joule is one of the scientist name. So joule. The derived unit of energy is Newton and meter. Newton meter. Okay. See the next one. Power. Power is one of the physical quantity, derived quantity. It will be derived from physical quantity. Okay. The power is expressed as work by time or energy by time. The SI unit of power is watt. James Watt. Steam engineer kandupidichavaruடைய name the watt. So watt is the SI unit of power. Okay, the derived unit of power is joule second inverse. Joule second inverse. Next one is the impulse. Next one is the impulse. It's one of the physical quantity. Sorry, one of the derived quantity. Okay. Force into time. The expression of impulse is force into time. The unit is Newton second. Newton second. And the next one is the surface tension. Surface tension, it's one of the properties, surface tension. Okay, it will be expressed as force by length. Force by length. The unit is Newton meter inverse. Next one is that moment of force, nothing but force. Moment of force are called torque. In case of rotational motion, it will be force represented as a torque. Force into distance. Force into distance. Okay, here you write that power represented letter P, impulse also represented P or J. Okay, surface tension represented letter T, capital T. Moment of force or torque represented letter tau. It's a Greek alphabet. Okay, already you studied your 10th standard, 10th படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. Next one, electric charge. Okay, so sorry, the unit of torque is Newton meter. Next fundamental quantity, that is electric charge. Electric charge, okay, it's a properties of all material, எல்லா பொருள் இருக்கக்கூடியதான் charge. Okay, it will be derived from the definition of current into time. Charge per unit area, charge per unit time, it's called current. Just you here modified current into time, it's called charge. Charge represents the letter small q, as well as we represent the capital Q, that's called net charge, total charge. Okay, so current into time, it's called electric charge. The unit of electric charge is coulomb. Coulomb is the SI unit of electric charge. It will be derived as ampere second. Okay, another one is the magnetic induction. It will be represented letter capital B. It will be expressed force per current into length. Force per current into length. The unit is SI unit is Tesla. Tesla is the SI unit of magnetic induction. Okay, next one, force constant. That will be where is it from? Comes from Hooke's law. Force is directly proportional to displacement. So we need the force constant. Proportionality cut பண்றதுக்காக ஒரு introduce பண்ண ஒரு term. That's constant term. It's called force constant. Okay, in case of Newton's law of gravitation, just you introduce capital G. Okay, just you remember at the same here, that's called force constant. It will be expressed as force per displacement. Okay, the unit of force constant is Newton meter. And the next one, Planck's constant. It's also your familiar one. The Planck's constant is derived from expression for energy E is equal to h nu. You know one, how to Planck's constant represented? That is represented cap small h. Okay. The unit of Planck's constant is joule second. The unit of Planck's constant is joule second. And another one, that is specific heat. It is represented capital S, heat energy per mass into temperature. See the screen. Heat energy, heat energy per mass into temperature. Okay, and the last one, Boltzmann constant. It's also derived from energy expression E is equal to k theta. Theta is temperature. Okay, so அதிலிருந்த Boltzmann constant கொண்டு வராங்க. That's k is called Boltzmann constant. Okay, the unit of Boltzmann constant is joule Kelvin inverse. Joule Kelvin inverse. It's a sum of the derived quantities in your textbook. நம்ம textbookல கொஞ்சம் தான் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க, இன்னும் நிறைய derived quantities இருக்கு. Okay, that's all. Students, let's finish our class with this topic. This topic is very very important topic in your exam point of view. It's very important, already I told. Okay, exam point of view means your NEET or JEE examination. It's a very important topic, so learn well this topic and practice in your home. Okay, this is your homework. Okay, another one, one question will be given to homework, that is define physical quantity and their types. Define physical quantity and their types. Another one question is define unit and their types. That's all. This two question is your homework. This derived quantity just you learn and practice in your home. That's all. Thank you, students.